Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Professor James Chin, please?
Can you hear me clearly? The Malaysia Agreement is the cornerstone of all agreements that led directly to the formation of Malaysia. So essentially, it was an agreement between the government in the UK, the government of Malaya, Singapore, Sarawak, and the government of North Borneo, or Sabah it was then called. Basically, the agreement states that all these countries who were all formerly ruled by the UK will come together to form a new political entity called the Federation of Malaysia. You have to remember, during the era that we're talking about, Southeast Asia was in the middle of the Cold War. Britain had every intention of setting up a single political entity in this part of the world that was to be pro-Western and basically pro-UK. So they wanted all the colonies to come together, and they saw Tunku Abdul Rahman as the best person to put it together. Tunku Abdul Rahman was a realist, a political realist, and he understood very, very early on that if he were just to merge with Singapore, that would not work because the non-Malay or the Chinese population would be too large. So he needed the Bumiputra population in Sabah and Sarawak in order to even out the increase in Chinese population coming in from Singapore. The Cobalt Commission was a thing that was agreed to by the governments of Malaya and the UK to set aside a group of people to come and engage the views of the local people of Sabah and Sarawak. From there, we have a thing called the IGC, the Intergovernment Commission, and that was essentially to put the results of the Cobalt Commission and to make sure that all the interests of Sabah and Sarawakians are taken into account, and they will be included in the new Malaysian Constitution that was based on the 1957 Malayan Constitution. So where the problem lies is a lot of people in Sabah and Sarawak think, firstly, the process was rushed, and secondly, that the Cobalt Commission did not really represent the true wishes of the people in Sarawak. So that's basically where the controversy is.